The national president, People's Club of Nigeria, Chief Dr. Chukwu Morgan, I bet you go one of our own days also. Oh, you're my good life, I'm living in a diamond. Chief JSO, do not look at, do not people of what city. Ebu, former chairman, Lagos branch, Ebu patron, People's Club of Nigeria, Chief FM, Morono, Oshana Waba, Ebu chairman, Lagos branch, Chief Ian Okonkwo, Obaka, Dano de la Mado 1 or 2, First Vice Chairman, Lagos branch, Onyo Mamena Sojin Oke, Chief Titus Ika Mesoke, Onyima 1 of Amish, Founder, National Patron, People's Club of Nigeria, Chief G.H. Chikelo, Duna Mulupe of Oketiti, National Patron, Chief Umar Hamadike Obiete, Azu Kenya Unubi, National Patron Ayeno, Ishie Mangroba, G.A. Okonkwo, Vice National President, People's Club of Nigeria, Ishie Senyi Awonwoji, Omo Nigeria Freedom Bank, Kazanze Wende Yegege, Ishie Senyi, Chipsa, Johnson Oigwe, Oketiti, Patron elect, People's Club of Nigeria, Mazi Chris, Oji, Umeche, Ngengeli Obamichi, former Secretary, Lagos branch, Paul Edumanye, Amaleza Mawenuku, Ebu Secretary, Lagos branch, Jesse Onyebuna, Nanyalugo second of Nkwere, Financial Secretary, Nancy Onyeke, Orimila Kunewi, Ebu Treasurer in Lagos branch, Chief Mike Arinze, what can not forget it?
Meines Pieres heute. Ich will doch nur, dass es mir gut geht. Sie hat Epilepsie, ist querschnittsgelähmt, kann fast nichts zu sich nehmen.
Gypsy, hast du deine Mom getötet?
Hi, ich bin Christian.
Ich bin Caroline. Ich bin Sophie.
Ich bin der Christian. Ich nehme euch heute einen Tag lang mit.
If you're like me, then you like to get jumping. So, what do you...
National President, Ishie Onyekwe, Second Vice, National President, Oliver the Combination.
Good evening, first of all, gentlemen and gentle ladies who are the early callers this very evening, Thursday, the 11th of July, 2019. Our station remains Voice of Biafra International and the Biafra Broadcasting Authority. We come to you from Germany. Obibiagon is my name. Udog Onwenya is joining us from the Scandinavian countries, Denmark. Udog, you are welcome. Jude Chijoke is joining us from Lagos. Jude, you are welcome. Sonny Emmanuel Nwabisi is joining us from Owerri, Biafra land. Sonny, you are welcome. Likewise, Bright is joining us from Owerri, Biafra land. Bright, you are equally welcome. We welcome Charles Abim, Prince Wayne Opia, Ike Berlin, Thank God Erondo, Ikechukwu Anu, Baba Obinna, Ofona Ansel, Jashien Uchiwa, Eze Ikechukwu, Isochukwu Onyabo, Ike Brown, Okechukwu Obialo, Chidebere Echego, and many others. We are saying, welcome all of you to this our evening talk. We always gather here from time to time, let me say weekly, to discuss issues that concern you and me, issues that concern fellow Biafrans, Biafrans in diaspora, Biafrans back home. We discuss all these matters because we are all involved. And over the weeks, getting to months, the topical issue that has been taking much of our time and which has been attracting the attention and concern of our people is the activities of the Fulani herdsmen vis-a-vis the Miyetti Allah. One thing certain is this: both the Fulani herdsmen and the Miyetti Allah constitute a menace in the affairs of things back home in Nigeria, back home in Biafra land. These are murderous herdsmen and Miyetti Allah people who keep on killing our people on daily basis, men, women, children, old and young. They brandish their AK-47 with impunity, not minding the presence of the security personnel. Reasons are quite plain, as they are very, very obvious. They are being sponsored by the Nigerian government under Mr. Muhammad Buhari. They equip them, they emboss them with billions of naira for them to keep on purchasing, possessing high caliber, deadly weapons. And they unleash all these things on our people. Not just the Biafrans alone, but the entire southern part of Nigeria, but more pronounced within the middle belt Christians. The army chief of staff Army Chief of Staff, Buratai, is there doing practically nothing. The worst military chief in the history of Nigerian Army. The Chief of Defense is there. The Naval Chief, the Air Force Chief. All of them are there doing nothing. The DSS, DMI, all of them are there. What are they doing? Insecurity everywhere, brigandage, armed robbery, kidnapping, series of assassinations continue to stare us in the face. And yet, they are being paid with taxpayers' money. The military chiefs continue to create a state of insecurity for them to be siphoning the federal government of Nigeria in the name of fighting brigandage. When these monies get into their pockets, it's all over. And the soldiers are there fighting with bare hands, discarded out. You know what I'm trying to say? Outmoded military equipment that cannot even catch ordinary lion in the forest. These are the things they give to all these soldiers, more especially those of them from the eastern part of Nigeria, the Biafrans, the Igbos, who are still wasting their time in the Nigerian military. They hand over all these things to them and send them to the war fronts somewhere in Sambisa. On their way, the same military chiefs would give signal to Mieti Allah, would give signals to herdsmen, would give signal to Boko Haram, and they kill my people. These are the circumstances under which Nigeria is operating. There is insecurity, and the world keeps laughing at us. In consequence, Nigerians are no longer allowed to enter the United States of America, even if you possess valid visa. On getting to the entry point, you are turned back because you are coming from a lifeless nation being ruled by a lifeless man. That is Nigeria for you. Nigeria has become a ridicule, a laughing stock, a shithole, where every day you go, mention Nigeria, people will turn in consternation, wondering, who is this? They regard you like a plague. You are a nobody, worse than animals, subhuman being, just because you possess Nigerian passport. Not just because you possess Nigerian passport, but because there is no leader. Nigeria voted in a man who forged WAEC certificates. And nobody is talking. We have professors, we have PhD holders, we have engineers, technocrats, what have you. Justices of the Supreme Court, of the Appeal Court, of the High Court, and even of the lower court. They were there. They remained silent. In Western world, it can never happen. And they imposed a man who knows nothing but, let me say, knows generally nothing. And they imposed him on us. Wole Soyinka was there. He supported Buhari. Mbaka was there. He preached for Buhari. Tunde Bakare was there. Femi Falana was there. Obi Ezekwesili. And very many of them. Tinubu, Amechi, Ochizo Kalu, Rochas Okorocha. Oh, Jesus Christ. Adams Oshomole. Festus Keyamo. That's even terrible. These are the cliques that imposed this disaster on Nigeria. And today, they are suffering the consequences. But we say it is a prayer answered. Because when God gave them Jonathan, they said, oh, he was clueless. They have seen a man now who has a claws like the leopard. Praise them well. This is just the beginning. It is a prayer answered, like Mbaka would say. Buhari is a prayer answered because his presence in Asorok is now hastening the coming of Biafra. Mark my words, I said it 3 days ago. Beyond this 2019, in 2020, Nigeria can never survive it. Mark my words, I repeat, and with emphasis. Nigeria shall not. Shall is a must. Nigeria shall not survive 2020. It is all over. The regions have agreed that if there is no restructuring, back to writing 63 federal constitution, what we call regional constitutions or regional constitution, if they fail, which they know they must surely fail, everybody is going their separate ways come 2020. Mark my words, it has been concluded and nothing stops it. Now the Fulanis wanted to test the result of the entire South and the Middle Belt by trying to impose Ruga, Fulani settlement, in the southern part of Nigeria and the Middle Belt. For once in the history of this particular flagellant nation, epic nation, call it, the Middle Belters, the Southwest, the Southeast, the South-South, spoke with one voice, and the result was quite obvious. In the past, it was a kind of divide and rule. The Yoruba will never agree with the Igbo will never agree with the Ijo will never agree with the Middle Belters, the Middle Belters will never agree with the Southwest. It became a cacophony of unregistered anguish. People singing different tones, dancing different music, and then the enemy will penetrate us, keep on laughing at us, keep on using us, siphoning the resources we have at our various backgrounds. Today we have woken up from slumber, and these things can no longer happen. Nigeria is on the edge of the precipice, and it must surely crash. Nothing will save Nigeria. This is what we are saying. So, but while that is going on, the Yoruba people are quite ready. Let me be honest with you. Without making noise, the Yoruba people are ready to go. Every state apparatus, every paraphernalia of the government is ready. Of course, the Biafrans are ready. And when I talk of readiness, I don't mean readiness born out of noise making. No. We must take the bull by the horns. Few days ago, a cerebral idiot called Abdul Aziz Suleiman. Abdul Aziz Suleiman, that madman, came on air telling Buhari, of course, that is his own brother, that he has always been their sponsor, that if he failed to rescind the decision in the cancellation or rather suspension of the Ruga settlement, that things will no longer be the same. How could things no longer be the same? He went further by saying, in the event of that, every southerner in the northern part of Nigeria must surely vacate. And if they fail to vacate, the consequences will be trembling. That threat was issued. This particular day, nobody invited him to DSS office for questioning. Nobody called him to order. Instead, he was praised to the high heavens. The Ohanese chieftain responded, there is nothing wrong in telling the Igbos to go, provided the Northerners, the Fulani people equally in the southern part of Nigeria, must equally vacate. And they must go. But then Ohanese went further to say, we shall defend ourselves. The question is, how do we defend ourselves? Nyanwodo asked Igbo to defend themselves. The question is, how do we defend ourselves? With what? Since this particular conflagration that is besetting Nigeria, Ohanese chieftain has never summoned a meeting of all the stakeholders. He has never summoned the Biafra leader, Chief Dr. Rafu Wazirike, the bim-massob leader. He has never summoned him for questioning to discuss with him to know the way out. He has never summoned the Lower Niger Congressman Secretary, Tony Nade. He has never summoned Engineer Dr. Innocent Amade of the Bide Human Rights. He has never summoned even the Mobi leader, Meke Mekesiri. He has never even summoned the IPOB group. He has never summoned the Zionist movement. Nobody, no group summoned. He has never had IMOB meeting. He has never discussed the Igbo diaspora. And he was talking about defending ourselves. How do we defend ourselves? The question is, why is it that Ohanese has never bothered to summon a meeting of all the principal stakeholders for us to take a decision preparatory for any eventuality? When we fail to prepare ourselves as we are now, let me say, the enemy would make a mincemeat of us. They are going to slaughter us like cows or cattle. They are going to use it for their own seer, whatever it is called. They have the gun, they have the knife, they have everything. They have their military support, the DSS support, the police support. They opened the Kaduna Inland Dry Port, and from Turkey, Saudi Arabia, Iran, these people continue to import sophisticated military hardware. And they are trying to unleash all this on the Biafrans on the southern part of Nigeria. Nobody is talking. Otherwise, tell me the wisdom of in opening a dry port in faraway Kaduna, just like they went there and sited a refinery that is now not functioning. Now is a dry port. What for? They import arms from some of this Arab world and siphon them to Kaduna, distribute them at the dead of the night. Nobody is talking. Now they want to fight us back. They want to kill us because we are not armed. And nobody is talking. They destroy our farms. Nobody is talking. They want to covet our waterways. Nobody is talking. They want to covet our land. Nobody is talking. And all Oneze Chicken is saying, defend yourselves. How do we defend ourselves? Have you ever called the Igbo billionaires and millionaires to seek their views for them to make their own contributions for us to purchase the necessary wherewithal for self-defense? Have you ever done that? In Igbo land as in Biafra land, let me say, we have millionaires, we have billionaires, we have philanthropists, we have patriots, those who are prepared passionately to talk about Biafra and defend Biafra and sacrifice for Biafra. Ohaneze Chichen has never done that. Instead, he's talking about defense. How do we defend ourselves with bare hands? Are we going to confront a vicious enemy brandishing AK-47 with bare hands? Tell me. And now we are asking, how do we defend ourselves? What is the role of Ohaneze? What of our Igbo Development Foundation? Nobody is talking. ADF is no more talking. They have gone incommunicado. So some leaders who have been making noise all these days, talking about trying to bring violence into Nigeria, or against Nigeria rather, where are they? Many of them have escaped. We want leaders who will be at home. We want leaders in Biafra land. We want leaders who must answer their call of duty. We don't want leaders who are roving here and there. Such cannot help us achieve Biafra. This is what we are talking. Ohaneze is saying, defend yourselves. Igbos, Biafra, defend yourselves. How do we defend ourselves? This is the question in the lips of every Dick and Harry in Biafra land as of this time. Let us ask Nyawodo, how do we defend ourselves when he has never consulted Chief Dr. Rafulazike? He has never conducted any other principal Biafran leader to fight a war out of Guama at all. It involves a lot. Again, how would the monthly dues? It's never monthly dues. Just like one man, one Professor Anthony Ejiogo, whatever it is called, Professor Anthony Ejiogo. You want contributions. And sometimes I wonder, where lies your professorship? You want to make contributions, asking people to pay money into a particular account to buy arms or whatever, and you came on air publicly displaying the account number. You display the account number in public glare. Why didn't you find some other means of sending the account number to those who are willing to contribute, just like they contributed the one that vanished into thin air? How dare you, a professor of your own caliber, you want to seek contribution from people, you were displaying the account number publicly for Nigerian government to see, for the Department of State Security to see, for the FBI to see, so that tomorrow Nigerian government will now conspire with the foreign powers to clamp down on it, and then, or possibly, well, after the contributions, just like the one before that vanished into thin air, now you will siphon it to tell us, oh, Nigerian government has clamped down on it because the account number was known. That is the purpose of displaying that. We know where you are coming, and we are championing Biafrans. Oh, anybody is free to contribute, but never the members of the bim-massob family. The reasons are quite plain. That man attended in-house meetings sometime a few days or a week ago in America and shouting holy, holy, holy. Such a professor, you could not be neutral in matters Biafra. After shouting holy, 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 who is a savior, you are now coming to display a fictitious account for people to pay money into it. Who is going to pay when the ones that were paid have not been accounted for? You were there. You did not ask questions of the fund contributed before. Now the Fulani herdsmen are there. They are there, hitting our people right and left, front and back. Nobody asked for the defense fund, and you want our people to undertake another stupid journey in fundraising. To do what? For the past years, since 1999, when Chief Wazike started this particular struggle, you have never deemed it necessary to raise funds to support him. Why didn't you pursue the black goat? Look for the black goat when it was day. Why didn't you pursue or look for the black goat when it was day? Now it is midnight. You are looking for the black goats. That is foolishness. I was surprised when this man who called himself Professor Anthony Jogu came to display publicly account number. But I said no, because now federal government would account number the money. Are you fooling who? Biafrans can never be fooled. What we want is to use their influence as a professor. Let Jogu hear it. What we expect you is for your other professors like you, PhD holders like you in the states of America to discuss with the American government, move them to Russia, discuss with the Russian government, move them to Israel, discuss with them, move them to France, discuss with them, but never Britain. Make contacts with foreign powers. Tell them to come. We sign MOU. Give them contracts. Tell them to supply us with the necessary without. For us to fight this thing, we clear the coastal line. Once we clear the coastal line, we have access to the sea. We have access to our oil industry. We can now sell crude oil to get more things we need for the prosecution of the battle. That is how it is done. If you cannot do it, you cannot be contributing kobo for anybody. People know in America, some of them are asylum. Trump is pushing them now. We want them to contribute how much? $100. And stupidly, somebody is saying whoever did not contribute should not come to Biafra land. Biafra land is their own. To hell. How dare you talk about that? In our own Biafra, you want to issue order. Whoever did not give you $100 can never enter Biafra land. Talk of the devil. We must warn our people. Those of them who want to make revenue out of people's sweat, tell them the only way this Professor Anthony Ejogu and his lies will help Biafra is for them to discuss with the American senators, discuss with the House, make friends of Trump, Netanyahu, Putin, Macron, Merkel here in Germany, and other world leaders, for them to come to our assistance so that when we secure Biafra, we give them contracts to build our airports, our seaports, our stadium, our everything we might deem necessary. That is how it is done. And when they supply all this, within 24 hours, we clear the coastal zone, have direct access. And with our brothers in the Ijo area, we control our oil resources. We can now market it freely and get more sophisticated equipment. That is how we have to do it. So this is what we expected the Professor Anthony Job to do. Send them to Tobago, we can't number go say na cry blah blah blah. Because Ohanes said defend themselves. You think you can capitalize on that? I am not dissuading those who want to be stupid in contributing, but I am now using this particular opportunity, this medium, to tell every member of the bim-massob family, never ever, wherever you may be, become part of that particular financial jamboree. Let me welcome Ike, Eric, Michael Mobodo. Peter Onona, Igwe Madabuchi, Chinedu Ezemwaka, Emeka Emeka, Friday James, we welcome all of you. Okeke Emma, Chibike, Oji, Chobike, Ekele James, Mary N. Ogoma, our member from Omaya, Ndobisi Timothy, Okeke Samuel, Obidon, Biafra, Onyaka, Vitalis, and lot more. We welcome all of you to this particular discussion. Gentlemen, I welcomed you before. Ujogunwe, you are there. Judy Chijoke. Sorry, about the YBC. Sunday, OT, Bright is there. Any of you online, please say hello to fellow Biafrans, and now the full discussion dialogue now begins. Of course, I don't know if HS and Udez is there. Vincent, equally, Uchenno Okeke, Anthony Moneke, Ume Masinus Valentine, Ugoji, and lot more. Gentlemen, as you join, be part of the discussion. Welcome to the program, Udog Mwediya.
Thank you so much. My name is Sonny Group Biafra in Scandinavia. So I'm well. Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon. Iken, I'm here tonight with you. So anyhow you want us to comment, I will stand until you play the program. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Today, we no hold bad. We are going to say anything we want to say. More especially, Hannes is saying we should defend ourselves. We're asking with what? And this man, Professor Ejogo, Anthony Ejogo, asking people to contribute money. We are going to look into it. Thank you so much. Jude Chijoke, you are welcome to the program. Sonny Emmanuel Nwabisi, if their service is clear, you are equally welcome once again. Then Sunday Oti, we welcome you. If you are there, say hello to fellow Biafrans. And the bride, you are there equally.
Thank you, my brother.
Okay, Sunday Oti, leave it. Their service is not clear at the end. Sunday, please. We welcome Nwa Biafra James, of course. Obodo John. We also welcome you and very many others. Those who are joining on live TV program and those joining us through our radio. We welcome all of you. So, gentlemen, once you are speaking and I say hold on, that is to say service is not clear at the end. Now, let me call in Udog Nwediya. Udog, we are there. Few days ago, after the leader of the Bieti Allah threatened that should Buhari fail to rescind the suspension decision he made on this Ruga settlement, that every Igbo man, by extension, every southerner in the northern part of Nigeria must leave. Or if they fail to leave, whatever happens to them, they should hold themselves responsible. Udog Nwenya. Two things.
Yeah.
Ohanes is saying, or respond to the man asking us to defend ourselves and what this man said. Take time and tell Biafrans what their views are. Udog, over to you.
Thank you so much, Iken. I think these two groups, they have committed atrocity. Because let me tell you the truth, these Hausa Fulani herdsmen and the same Ohanese, they are the people that is killing us. Do you know why I said this? If that Ohanese Ndi Igbo, you know, for example, in 2013-14, when in the time of Jonathan, when there is Jonathan tried to destroy all the plan of Boko Haram, the northern group, all their leaders from Plateau State, which they are fighting now, to Sokoto, to all the whole place, they bring one delegates, and they move straight to USA, and they sit down with Obama, and they tell Obama, Jonathan is killing us, and we don't want him in that power. And they listen to them. Where is Plateau people? We are here. Where is Sokoto people? We are here. Where is Kwana people? We are here. All the northern states, when they ask them in that USA, we are here. So why can't Igbo people, southeast or south side, south, do the same thing the Hausa people did? Gather yourself from each Igbo place, each state to provide one person. South should provide one person. Ijaw people should provide one person. All these people will gather together and they will move straight. So the same place they call USA, the same thing they did, and present our Malata, show them the video. This man that entered there is killing our people. See the threat they give to us. They said that we should move so time, and they're still killing us so that if we don't give them our land, they will kill us, finish, and they'll just start killing us. If you do this, tell me. And the USA will look and say, who are you? Who are you? Oh, I'm from Enugu. Who are you? I'm from Anambra. What of you? I'm from River State, Akwa Ibom State. All this. They will say, yes, these people, and they will say that I'm the former governor, or I'm the Senate president, I'm the former Senate, I'm this. So the USA will listen to our petition, and the Biafra will come immediately. But you cannot go, for example, what happened to these Biafra groups, which people don't understand. Maybe Tony Nadi was in the USA and they made some Senate. They may ask him, yes, I will see that you are a freedom fighter. Whose place are you from? He said, I'm from Eastern Zone. He said, okay. And do you know what? Do you know who is Nnamdi Kanu? Oh, Nnamdi Kanu is a criminal. This. See, that one, they will put it last at them because they will believe that they have not joined hands together. Because they have not united. They will ask him, what of Wazirike? Oh, if Wazirike, we don't want this thing. So that, the problem will start. And when Wazirike, what is it, Nnamdi Kanu went to USA, they asked him, what of Wazirike? Oh, leave these people is criminal. All this. So they will start condemning each one of us. See, many people is going down. The fire is pointed. If Biafrans want this Biafra to come, they better do something now. Because fire is pressing. If you see the social media, people is tired. And the age, the 2015, 14, 16, 17, the power the Biafran use for this struggle, there is out of 100% is now like 30%. The mood of the people have this time around, no, everybody's confused. The best option is about the threat the Hausa Fulani Boko Haram give to us. We, the Eastern region, don't even need to worry ourselves. What we have to do is join hand, gather. Each state will bring their own leader. Go to this America or go to any country, present yourself, even though Israel or Russia, present yourself. Say, we are all the E from so region come for you to help us. This Fulani people is killing us. Tell me, if they do that, Biafra will not come. And they will get, where I am from River State. Oh, are you people together? Yes. So what I'm trying to say tonight is, we the Biafrans, especially the leaders of all these Ohanes Zendi. Last time, this man said that everybody should pay him, donate money. That if you donate the money, then we because of are you going to tell them to protest if that money is to use by God, or are you going to tell them what? What you're supposed to do is, before you bring all this to donate, why can't you, all the rich Igbos, or you are professor, why can't you call the professor exactly how you are? Go secret meeting on the ground, the same was Rike said. Go secret meeting, call all the leaders of all these Biafra groups, bring them secret, nobody will know what is going on. All those leaders, all the what is Soludo, all these BB people, what is her name? Even though the Jonathan too, and many groups bring from the south, Akwa, bring some people there, and they tell them, see, what are we going to do? Secret, what can we do to make sure we to solve this problem? So you people will contribute first, bring 1 million, maybe say, okay, you donate 20 billion because you have the money. Well, you cannot come to a culture where they do wedding. You bring 1 million, 2 million. But now is the problem. You cannot provide. You say people come and help. Which help you need? Do the same thing you are doing in occasion. Go inside house. Nobody will know what is the same thing house is doing. Nobody know what they're doing. Call them secret meeting and they put them down and say, okay, this is what I'm donating 20 million, 30 million, 50 million. After that, then you people will start go for the what you want. Then after that, you know those things already down. Then you start asking people to donate. When other group that you come say, okay, donate, yes, we have conclusion, donate money, donate, everybody can contribute because that contribution is to help because you people already started it. You cannot come. We don't know anything about you. You say that we should contribute money. Which money are we going to contribute? Because we know that you are not united. You don't call all those people together. You don't call us together. We don't know your plan. So what I'm saying tonight is these people or Hanes and Igbo should mind themselves and they should listen to, because why I know Wazirike get angry for them is you're supposed to ask what is their plan. Call them. See, this problem now. Call these Biafra groups, the leaders. Ask them. See, what is your plan? We see that you are listening. Go closer to them. Call them for meeting. You cannot just go and start saying that you donate. Donate what? So that you will become a leader again. How many leaders are we going to have? When everybody starts donating, okay, Hanas and people say defend yourself. Can I use what can we use to defend yourself? Can you say that a whole that man cannot come out? That to show that also people they are messy. To tell you the truth, the Fulani people they are messy. If it's me, I'm in charge of. I found out that I found out that this Hanas and people say, oh, we go and defend yourself. Then we will know that they don't have anything. We will start attacking them before they will start defending themselves. Eh? You don't have anything. You tell you, oh, defend yourself with what? Also, people they already have many things. The weapon is coming from Libya. It's coming from Niger. It's coming from Sudan. Which border do we have? We don't have any border. The person was supposed to bring something from Cameroon. They are fighting war there. What is your plan? See the sea we have, the ocean. We don't have any. And before they say Onitsha seaport is working, no seaport in this. What are you people planning for that since all those days? So we the Igbo cannot fight. Only what we have to do. The solution is call emergency meeting in Igbo land. The same thing Soludo do last 2016 or 2017 when they gather all the whole south east and south and the middle belt gather together when they want to do unite for the structure. So they have to do the same thing and donate money. Don't come and say when you start donating that money, you will see how some people will start panicking. Donating that we the Eastern region want to make our country, our state to be good. We donate this 1 billion. We want to do this things. You have the money. You cannot come to occasion. You donate money, or you come to village so that you will hear your name. You tell them, I give you 20 cow. I give you 10 cow. They will eat cow, but the load they are passing is very dangerous. Armed robber is after that you send that brother to come and take the money back to them. Do something. Now it's time. Igbo people need you people now. South and South East need you people now. Come and donate money. You people, not we, not ordinary people, because you people have eaten money. You are professional. You are eating government money. Bring that donation 20 billion and support this support first before we start coming. So you can there's where I will stop, but I will still come back again.
Yeah,
Just
exactly. Thank you so much, Budog. In fact, you have said a lot of important things I wasn't even thinking about. You have really hit the nail on the head. There was something you said that is very, very important, and it was very, very logical. That for Ahanese to come into the open, say, defend ourselves, when he knows we don't have anything, and for this professor to start now saying, contribute money, let us use and buy arms. is to tell these Fulani people that we are not prepared, and they will start attacking us. That they have not even attacked us means that they are fine, they are good, they are merciful. Honestly, you have really said it now. For us to start now thinking of donating to buy whatever is to tell our enemies that we are not prepared. Instead of, like you pointed out, let 1 or 2 persons from the south, 1 or 2 persons from the southeast, 1 or 2 persons, gather them from different places, send them outside to go and make friends of the international community. That is how it's supposed to be done. Not to display bank account somewhere and asking people to be dropping $1, $5. Rubbish. 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 The man didn't act like a professor. And then Nyangodo himself. So when Chief Wazike got bitter in the video he made, which prompted today's invitation by the DSS, he was bitter because the Ohaneze chieftain, Dr. Nyangodo, who is the leader of the Igbo Cultural Organization, did not consult anybody, and they are saying defend yourself. That is, I don't know. I don't want to insult. God forbid, we don't insult here. But then we are advising in Nyangodo. This is the time for you to summon all the stakeholders in this Biafra struggle. Reach out to Dr. Wazirike, reach out to IPOB leader, reach out to the human rights leader, reach out to Nadi, to all of them. Summon a meeting of Imobi secretly. Call our Igbo billionaires. Udogwunya said, instead of saying no Gageji Zongba, say no developmental levy. And we give it a name. And then we achieve something. Not to come and just make noise when the enemy is near. Thank you so much, Udog. Honestly, you have said something very, very important. Gentlemen on the crew, let us hear what you have to say in this regard. The floor is open.
Yeah, thank you, my brother. You can this is another brother Emmanuel from Biafra land.
So Louis, I'm not getting you. So I cannot hear you. I cannot hear you at all.
Okay, let me change my position. Can you hear me now?
Yes, go on.
Yeah, I want to use this opportunity
No, Sonny, Sonny, I'm sorry, we cannot. Sonny, I cannot hear you at all. Sonny, I'm sorry. Service is very poor there. Sonny, hold on, please. Sonny, hold on. Service is extremely poor from your own side. Valentine Ogoju is in Port Harcourt. Bright is there, of course. Those who are within service area, you are free to make your own contribution. Gentlemen, over to you. Sonny, hold it, please. We cannot hear you.
Can you?
No, I cannot hear you, please.
Can you hear me too?
Okay, Judy, we can hear you. Judy, you got the topic? Nyangodo says Igbos defend themselves, and you are saying with what? And this other man is saying make contributions. Is this now he's waking up, asking us to make contributions when the enemy is there? Judy, okay, what do you have to say?
Yeah, thank you very much, Ikenna. Well, first of all, I think I will. This particular topic, as you can see, it really touches Biafrans. And when I say Biafrans, it touches our own people. I think this should have been an inside talk. It is unfortunate that they all came out to make broadcasts in order to tell the public that their positions or let's say their own personal should I say position or opinion, which definitely didn't go well with a lot of us here. I think from Nyangodo, as a president of a social cultural group, which has been there for a very long time, for him to come out and make such a statement, he may have thought that he spoke well or so, but eventually that statement didn't go well. Didn't go well. I think I see it as he's afraid. I saw him as someone that is afraid. I think that is how I saw it. I believe by now he must have watched the video done by the Biafra leader, Chief Dr. Ralph Mazurike, because to me, I think he should just go and go through the same video over and over for him to learn what leadership is about. Because you don't just call your people out, to go and face an enemy without any kinds of or any form of preparation. I think that is a very impromptu call, and I don't know how to put it, but I just saw it as a leader who doesn't know really how to organize, because it's not just all about coming out to the public to make a video or to the social media and make all kinds of. It is all about strategy. When there is no strategy, I think you are just planning to fail. That is how I see it. Nyamodo cannot say that this is the first time that he have seen the sign, this kind of a sign of for people being threatened. He knows that it's not the first time that we have been threatened. He knows it's not the first time that we have been attacked in various of in our own lands, our farms, and every other things being destroyed and co. He knows it's not the first time that our people have lost their lives and a lot of people have sustained injury, and he knows the record. So to me, as a leader, there are steps a leader should take. It mustn't be to my own knowledge. It mustn't be to the knowledge of my own associates. But as a leader, you have to assemble the other leaders. Then you sit indoor to plan. I think that is how it should be. Then whatever the resolution is, that is when they now come out and then relate it to other people so they can now know on the next line of action. We have been broadcasting here for years now, and we have been strategizing on this particular topic and issue on how we are to go. But eventually, I can't still believe that somebody can still just say, go and defend yourself. The question is always like, defend yourself with what? You see, defend yourself with what? So the question has always been there. I think I will only say that the lessons should be learned from the advice given by the Biafra leader. He should as well go and sit down with other leaders. I think I wouldn't want a situation where we.
I don't know if we have lost him.
Yeah. So all I'm advising Nyamodo is to ensure that he made every arrangement to meet other Biafran leaders and all the top leaders, both in the groups, other groups, to ensure that we strategize on how to move forward.
Yeah, that is quite true. I don't know if you are finished.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I can still go on. Yeah, then on the other side of the president of World Igbo Congress, I think I also saw a video where he was calling on. For me, I always use it as these are their personal opinion, or let's say their reaction. As a Biafran, you will never, if you tell me that you are happy on concerning the way things are going, the way our people are being treated. I think if anybody that says that is happy or is comfortable with the way things are going, I will personally say that person is an enemy. But let's say, including the president of World Igbo Congress, he came out openly to condemn what the Fulani S-men have been doing, and that is a very good call. I think I love that. But on the back of it again, now bringing an account, publishing it, making it to come on air, then telling everybody to go and they contribute, then that still goes back and throw back to the same question: who have you consulted? I can assure you, for years, I don't think most of these people have actually touched Biafra land, they've actually touched our land to know have been done. And so it's just like anybody who is in that overseas, I think there are roles they should be able to play. It's not necessary, it's not compulsory that you must definitely be the one to publish an account for people to definitely go and pay in there. It mustn't be that you are the one that will be collecting the money, because the last time we saw something of a similar thing, a lot of people donated for the one they call the defense funds, which we know how it went to today. So anytime when it comes to money, I think everybody should always be careful. That is why I always love the way the bim-massob have always organized their own thing. The accounts, they can only give you account from 1999 to date. What happened, how it happened, who came, who left, and who is still there. I think the point is just simple. We can't just start publishing accounts, telling people to go and pay money for us to defend. We still have to do one thing. As a leader in abroad, as a leader in any part of the country, as a leader in homeland, we still have to come together. That is one of the most important things that I still believe. And I believe that in the coalition that we are talking of now, without a coalition, I think we are going to find it difficult. So to me, the idea of someone publishing an account, telling everyone to go in there and pay money, I think I didn't all that thing. It didn't go well with me. I'm always of the opinion that they should ensure that we all start together and do it with a single, as in with under a single leadership, which it is not, which will never end up in storage, which will never end up in another person's foreign account, and at the end of everything, the person siphons the money and then they reside overseas, and that is gone. Before you know, they will tell you that something have happened and eventually the account was seized or something of that nature. But what we are doing is legitimate, and we should do it in the proper way. I think that is my own opinion. So my advice to Nyangodo and the president of World Igbo Congress is to ensure that other leaders, when I talk of other leaders, I'm talking of in general, Biafrans are consulted in general so they can be able to speak with a single voice. If we decide we are going to lobby with the international communities to come to our aid, then we put we channel our efforts towards that particular area. It is not when somebody at home telling us to go and defend ourselves, then the other one would be telling us to contribute. If you watch, the two does not really add up. The one that is telling us to defend ourselves is talking as if there is something he kept. There is enough ways we can be able to defend that. There are things that he has put on ground. While the ones that is asking you to contribute, simply showing that he needs you to contribute money, so he will now use it to go and get whatever we use to defend ourselves. So it shows that we are not, we still have a long way to go, and which will definitely, I believe that from this our broadcast, I believe that people are listening, that they are going to be able to call them to others. So we should be able to make wide consultation, call all the stakeholders, all the Igbo leaders, all the Biafran leaders, all the parts which make up Biafra, so we can be able to speak with a single voice and act at once. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. And even as at that, we had expected the Ohanese Ndiwu, to after calling all the group leaders, ask them how prepared are your men? How prepared are your men? Do you have the men on ground? How do we take care of them? The world is planning. How do we plan? It's not enough to troop out people on the street and say demonstrate to do something. That is suicidal. Ohanese chieftain Nyawolo did not act like a leader at all. In the same vein, Professor Anthony Jogo did not behave like the professor he is. The two gentlemen erred in very many ways. They did not consult or contact people on ground to know how prepared we are. We were thinking he would tell us, oh, we are going to get ourselves involved in diplomatic shuttle, whereby we are going to make friends of some international communities. That was not done. And in faraway America, you are asking people at home to be contributing. No, you look for sponsors. You look for sponsors, and they give them the conditions that will be beneficial to them in the event of Biafra. That is how it is done. You contract Biafra to some people. You can contract Biafra to some people, and they finish their job. They finish their job within days. The only way they will get their money back is to come and take contracts in our oil industry, and we pay them back. That is how it is done. But the diaspora, those of them in America, called the World Igbo Congress. Every year, I know World Igbo Congress, World Igbo Congress. And their achievements, we do not know. Whatever is achievement of the World Igbo Congress, we do not know. Here every year, I see them at America. Blah 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 blah. Or Edonga, and Maya, Tapoga, everybody alama. Next year, after how many years of Biafra? After how many years of Biafra? Shamelessly, the World Igbo Congress is talking about contribution. Shamelessly, the World Igbo Congress president is talking about contribution. Since 1999, when Chief Wazeke ignited this particular move, you never supported him. There was no way you came in to say, what do we do? Because this is Biafra. You went to sleep. Now at this last minute, you are coming to tell us, contribute. What do you mean? Does it mean that the World Igbo Congress has been sleeping all the years gone by? When other groups were there making the moves. So how do we believe you? Onye no America, na-asụ onye na-ala Biafra ka wara gị ego. Ihe na-adị eme gị. I'm not saying something must be wrong in that, in total. No. There are many ways we can, of course, contribute, but not the measure they have adopted. When you fail to consult some people who matter, keep them a public, need display account number for people to do what? I don't blame you people. Gentlemen, the floor is still open. Say your mind, please.
Yeah, thank you very much. You can now. You hear me?
Yeah, go on, please.
Okay. Good evening, fellow Biafrans all over the world. This is Valentine Ugoji from Port Harcourt. What I want to say tonight is on the topic of tonight about what the president of Ohanese said, that we should defend ourselves. When you look at that word, when I listened to it online, I was wondering what prompted him to come up online and tell people to defend themselves. Because before you come up with telling people to defend themselves, there must have been meetings or series of meetings that might have taken place to bring the leaders together. Then we discuss and know how are we going to defend the people, because you are the leaders. How are we going to handle the issue in the country now? Because the issue calls for emergency, and the emergency needs the people to come together to reason. Because when you fail to plan, you have planned to fail. So I see it that Ohanese have planned to fail because they failed to plan. They refused to chase the black goat while there is day. Because when the night comes, you cannot find it any longer. Now, when you are looking at the situation in the country called Nigeria, you look at the Fulani herdsmen or the Meyeti Allah, you find out that they are being sponsored by the leaders of this country. Because when they speak a word, they are being backed up by the rulers of this country. When you look at the DSS, the head of the service, the Navy, the Air Force, all the parastatals are Fulanis. Now, how do you defend yourself in a country where the military apparatus is from the north? How do you defend yourself in a setting where all the ammunitions, where the warehouse is in the north? When you talk of Jaji, it is in the north. Everything you talk about the army is in the north. Everything you look at in Nigerian setting is in the north. Now you are telling your people to defend themselves without proper arrangements. It shows that you are telling the people that we are not prepared. You are telling the people that we have nothing on ground. You are letting them know that we have not put anything on ground. When you look at what is happening today, that was why there was an attack in Enugu. Because when we were saying that the zoo will before we will burn the zoo, they said, let us test and see if these people have something. And when they tested, there was no retaliation. They now knew that these people have nothing. They have to come back again to do more killings. Because there was no retaliation, there was no challenge. Rather, it was empty noise. People were shouting, we will make Nigeria to burn. We do this, we will do that. But when the time came for you to make Nigeria burn, nobody was around. Everybody ran away. So what we are saying is this: for Ohaneze, a socio-cultural organization, to come out on air to tell the Igbos to defend themselves is wrong. What I expected the Nyanwodo to do is to call for meetings, to call the stakeholders, the leaders, the governors, the group, the agitators, the agitating group, their leaders, all the stakeholders to come together. Then when they come together, we speak as men, not coming out to reply a small boy from the Miyetti Allah that was set as trap to come out and talk trash, and he is replying to him. It is a letdown on the president of Ohanese Ndibo. That man that was sent is holding, I don't think he's holding any position in this country. So he was sent to come and talk, and let's see their reactions. And when the little boy spoke, the president of Ohanese began to shiver. He began to tell us to defend ourselves. Why? I see it as a lay down to the Igbos. It shouldn't be so. We should move as people that are wise, as people that are brought up from a good background, as people that are well trained, not as people that have nothing upstairs. We are supposed to come together and speak with one voice, not scattering maybe here and there. This man is talking from the other side, the other person is talking from the other side. No, we need to speak with one voice.
Yeah, exactly.
We
You
need to
remember,
come.
Valentine, excuse me. You remember the Yoruba people gathered themselves, discussed at various times, and came out with wonderful decisions. The Afenifere leadership gathered the entire Yoruba people, all the militant groups, to a conference, and they took a decision. Today, do you hear them make noise? What Ohanese did was to say, "Oh, come and defend yourselves publicly." When ordinary tout who was sent to test the ground made statements, which he, in his widest imagination, he can never carry out. It's practically impossible. Please let Biafrans go to sleep. That man is a tout. There's nothing he can do. He just wanted to know our reactions. It was quite unfortunate that a person like Nyawodo had to respond. We would have chosen somebody on the streets to talk to that man. That was exactly what Chief Dr. Rafi Wazika was saying. Why should the person of Ohanes Ndibo, chieftain, decide so low to respond to a tout who has nothing to show for it? So, what indeed we are saying, he should have summoned a meeting where all the group leaders would come, discuss, check the pros and cons, give account of the own stewardship, men wise, and then we know what to do. We speak with one voice, not to come and talk discordantly. And now, Valentine, this man in America, Dr. Professor Anthony Jogis, displayed the account number publicly, asking people to pay money. What do you have to say about it?
Thank you very much, Mr. Ikenna. I see it as someone maybe exposing themselves to the public, maybe that they are out to make money, or what do I call it? They see it every attempt as an avenue to make money. Because I see no reason why a professor, should be displaying bank account, telling us to pay in money to buy ammunition. It means you are telling the people that we have nothing, even cutlass we don't have. So please, we need money to start buying. It's just like someone that is not prepared for the rainy day. And when the rain comes, suddenly you begin to run helter skelter to look for umbrella or something to cover yourself, to shelter yourself from the rain. That is how it looks like. You cannot just come and begin to display bank account numbers and tell people who at home, not even people in the diaspora, people at home in the Biafra land, those that are feeling the heat, to pay in money for you to ship in ammunition. Which border is that ammunition going to come in from? Which wars will it land or airport? Where will it come in from? From Nigerian port or from another port? It's an act of cowardice. Even if you need such, you have to call your people. There are people that we have some rich people, both in the diaspora and at home. Can call them and say, please, brothers, this is what is at stake. This is what we want. They will rally around and raise anything we need. Nobody will know that something is happening. But once you display it in the public, the Nigerian government will be all out waiting for your consignment to land. Once it lands, they will seize it. Even if it is not gone, they will tell you that it has been seized and that money is gone and it's gone forever. Nobody is going to account for them. So I want to tell our people, please don't contribute any money to anybody. Nobody should contribute a dime to anybody. The struggle is not an avenue for us to enrich ourselves. It is an avenue for us to free ourselves from the shackles and the bondage we
Okay, thank
find
you very much
ourselves
for
in
the
this
time.
contraption
Thank you so much for the
called
time.
Nigeria.
Thank you so much for the time. Let me welcome people online. Zida Austin, Ofoleta Chetachi, Awa J. Carol, John Pitt, Ejebole, Onye, Godek, Wakama Chukuneye, Uche Godfrey. Let me see. Chinwendo Blessing. Uh, Let me see. Kiki Atchison. Let me see. Um, I'm trying to call the people here. The list is very much. You know why I try to recognize you is because the software we have here is a bit faulty and does not display the number of people online. That is why I take time to give you their own individual recognitions. So, Mark also, Dorman of course is here, Andrew Grace, Michael, Samuel Ike, Angela, Obona, Effects Kennedy, Ifa Ichkunwanko, Stephen Aja Obonea, Emma Okaf of course is there. Emma Okaf for saying no going back, my brothers, which is true. Chimere Uche, Okorocha, and so on and so forth. We keep on giving you the recognition as you come. So what we are saying is this. The Ohanese chieftain is a disappointment because of the manner they took in summoning our people to this emergency. Similarly, World Igbo Congress is a disaster. For World Igbo Congress to come out now asking people to contribute money is to tell Biafrans that after how many years, after several years of their existence, they have nothing to show for it. At the late hour, 11th hour, you are now asking people to be contributing how much? Does it mean that you have been wasting time in the states of America all the years gone by? That means you have been waiting for the rainy day and failed to prepare for it. At this critical moment, when the Fulani herdsmen are there, when the Miyetti are there, when the Boko Haram and other members of the ISIS mercenaries invading our land, when they are already on ground, you are talking about contribution. Shameless World Igbo Congress. Shameless World Igbo Congress. Shameless World Igbo Congress. Sadly, A professor could display account number publicly. How do you maintain secrecy? You are already telling your enemy your hideout. That is what you did. By displaying the account number publicly, you have told your enemy your hideout, where your power is. You just threw caution to the wind. And maybe you thought that by coming to the open to show display account number, people were going to clap for you. Unfortunately, you failed. Let us play a little bit of Biafra music.
Assistant Secretary, Lagos Branch, Chief E.E.K.G. Onowu, one of police, Ambati Sebe,
Okay, we'll take it that way. We don't want to prolong that particular music. We still have ample time for it. Gentlemen online with us, you are free to make your contributions. What do you say about this particular mistake made by Ohaneze chieftain? While, of course, before then, let us say, okay, Samuel is telling their fans. Ohaneze president telling Indibu to defend themselves shows that he has nothing to offer on that seat. Upon his high level of education, he lacks wisdom. His statement lacks substance. That's why he is facing this height of criticism and ignored by the DSS. But when Chief Dr. Rap Owazike spoke, our enemies became jittery and invited him for talk. The invitation was only to plead with him, nothing else. That is coming from Okeke Samuel. Let me repeat, hear it now. Ohaneze president telling Indigo to defend themselves shows that he has nothing to offer on that seat. Upon his high level of education, he lacks wisdom, his statement lacks substance. That's why he is facing this height of criticism and ignored by the DSS, Department of State Security Service. But when Chief Dr. Wazike spoke, even in response to Nyawodo, our enemies became jittery and invited him for talk. The invitation was only to plead with him, nothing else. And that is true, coming from Okeke Samuel. Gentlemen, if you cannot call because of the cost, you write your message and send to us. I will read it out and I will mention your name by word of acknowledgement. Gentlemen, the floor is open. Of course, we welcome Uchenna Okeke in Makodi joining us just now. Uchenna, you're welcome. Yeah. To some other members of the crew who are there, once your own service zone improves, you give us tell us what you have in mind. Let us still play a little bit of Biafra music while we wait.
Yeah, please, brother, can you hear me now?
Okay, let's give you a trial. Go on, Sonny.
Yeah, this I kill my brother. Before the disturbance of the network, let me just word of advice to our people. The so-called Ohanese and others, they should stop disgracing Igbos because the very leader of Ohanese, like what our leader said, is not supposed to answer that very comment that they or respond to the comments of the northern youth made about the Yoga. At least he would have asked, he has the department of Ohanese youth. He would have allowed Ohanese youth to respond to these people. Or, before you say defend yourself, How many people, even if you do not meet other leaders, maybe the leaders in Biafra, in the Biafra struggle, how many people or how many Igbo leaders has he summoned in the north? Try to know their condition, the whereabouts, or how prepared, how can they defend themselves in case of anything. He didn't do that because many of our brothers they like answering without knowing the value of a leader, forgetting that Anamu is Amu. You understand? It is only God that grants leadership. Some of them politically, when you become any leader, you think that is now your right to talk anyhow. No, you need consultation. You need to meet people. You need to get words from people before you make comments because you are representing something. See, it's unfortunate that so many Igbo leaders cannot use their sense. They cannot allow their God given talent to, they cannot allow the wisdom God put in them, they will not allow it to flourish from them. It's unfortunate. Okay, look at the Professor Anthony. He said he's a Jofo. No, he's a Jofo. He wrote a Jofo. Okay. Instead of you, when was the last time he organized a World Book Congress meeting in US? How many times the people, even with the Igbos in US there, have submitted? Must you display everything? Eh? Each time they will someone will just come out and start contributing. You should be sending money. Sending money for what? Must you, even if you are, even if you are to send money, must you show it on the internet? Must you tell you that you need money? Why can't they use their brain? Anyway, I see that they see it as an avenue to loot our people. But it's very bad. Tomorrow they will have Igbo man. They will be talking about Igbo man. Igbo man. You too like money. Somebody who call him say president don't know how to do things. Cannot make conversation.
Yeah, sorry, we can't hear you anymore. The service has started fluctuating. We cannot hear you anymore. Sorry. When it improves, you come on
Before
board.
this is what you see. Can you hear me now?
No, we're not getting you at all, sorry. You heard it. When it improves, you can come back on board. So we can give another person chance to talk now. I don't know. Which one are you there? Any other person who wants to take the lead, then you are free. Otherwise, we play a bit of music. Of course, gentlemen, let me tell you, yesterday, the Department of the State Security Service invited His Excellency the Biafra leader, Chief Dr. Afumatike, to State DSS office, Owerri, for questioning. The invitation was in line with the statements he made in response to Nyanwodo, calling Igbos to defend themselves without a proper arrangement. So the Department of the State Security Service invited him to know his own stand on the current happenings in Nigeria and in Biafra land, afraid that for him to have made such a statement that something might be going on subterranean. But unfortunately, by way of the disappointments, the Department of the State Security Service never deemed it necessary to invite Abdul Aziz Suleiman, who threatened reprisal, who threatened to keep the Igbos in the north should they fail to vacate immediately if Buhari failed equally to resist his own decision on the suspension of the Ruga settlement. Now, such a statement did not go down well with anybody in the entire federation except the Fulani axis. And people condemned it openly, outrightly. Till death, till one another we are talking, the DSS never invited him, just like in the past. Some of these Fulani people would come and they utter strange things against my people, against our people. And the government will just ignore them, even sponsoring them on the ground. For few statements His Excellency Chief Owasike made, he was invited. But to God be the glory that immediately that information got to our table, where we had to speak on that, and our people felt overwhelmed in their own solidarity. From here and there, we received solidarity calls and messages, even from the opposite direction. Our brothers in the IPOB were even saying no, that he should not honor that thing. Why is it that they did not invite the Fulani man? They had to invite our own man. Is it because he's a Biafran? So in solidarity again, the IPOB, the bim-massob, every member of the Biafran struggle came in solid support of Chief Dr. Wazike, asking not to honor the invitation. But then, because he believes in the principle or philosophy of non-violence, he didn't want to be seen as a coward or whatever. He had to go and confront the enemy in their own camps, frontal. At the end of the day, it was all an appeal. Please tone down your rhetoric. Don't make some statements that will bring the people to battle line. We remember you're the Biafran leader. We recognize you as a Biafran leader. We know your words carry weight. You don't talk always, but whenever you say something, we begin to suspect something is happening. Please choose your language when you want to address our people. They just appealed to him and apologized for the time wasted. So the Biafran leader left, and this afternoon, of course, I had a brief talk with him to know how everything went, and I got brief. So we are using this opportunity to thank all Biafrans, all Igbos, even our friends beyond the Biafran borders who stood in solidarity with us during the hours of seeming travel. So that is to show that when anything happens in Biafra land, all of us are going to bury our differences and will come out and stand as one. This is exactly what we are saying right now, that we are expecting the advancement of the Fulani herdsmen, the Mieti Allah, their brothers, the Boko Haram. We are telling our own Biafrans never to shiver, never to tremble, never to be moved. We are on top of the situation. We are telling all of you, we are on top of the situation, and nobody can frighten us. I repeat, nobody can frighten us. Whatever statements you hear them making is just to test the ground. Nothing with. They have nothing to try. If the military feels that they can assist them, no problem until we reach the line of the barricade. This is all we are saying for now. Gentlemen, of course, feel free to give your own contributions, and Biafrans will hear you. Thank you very much.
National Social Welfare Committee.
Yeah, of course, we welcome Ben Eze Chibuba, Collins S. Innocent, Goswin, Nelson, Ekene Chukwu. And now Ike Chukwu Amu is saying it's not that in the US that is talking, it's not that in the US that is talking it. It was Nnamdi Kanu that asked to say so because he cannot tell people to contribute money on his own because of the past money he earned. Well, gentlemen, let me say, Ikechukwu, let us not go into that now. I understand what you are saying, and you are absolutely correct. You are right. I believe you. But what will happen is that we are not going to discuss the errors or the shortcomings of some groups. This is a time we are trying to mobilize everybody to come together as one. It's a time for us to mobilize everybody. We come as one because we must defend Biafra land. But if we now shoulder some blames on any particular individual or group, it's not going to augur well with us. But we quite understand what you are trying to say. So, Professor Anthony Ejiofor, corrected now anyway, was speaking the voice of somebody, what we know as Esau's and Jacob's voice. It was a case of Esau's and Jacob's voice. We quite know who sent him, but it's not for us to begin to alter that here now. So let them carry their contribution wahala, World Igbo Congress, and not to bother us with that. We have gone beyond this monthly dues to fight for Biafra. This is what we are saying. However, thank you so much, Ikechukwu.
Nigeria. DIM, Onyenora. Ishie, Nayalogo, Mapataka. Akalechego of Uri. Chief, S.A. Obichi. Ishie, Ugochukwu Tubelo. Ochiro Sọ Kwanishi. Chief G.E. O.P.S. Ishie, Ọkwa Ọkụnọkwa. Chief B.A.S.K. Ochiedike.
Yes, I don't know. Is Udeze there? I thought I heard his voice. I just said Udeze. Okay, I lost him. Bright, you are there. So we are saying.
Yes, this bright. I am from Owerri.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ikenna. On today's topic, this is what I have to chip in. When I hear the word "go and defend yourself" from the president of Anese, I see the word as a carefully selected word from a good advisor. A word that you will say and you'll be in a safer side. That is one. Two, I see the word "go and defend yourself" as something that made it clear that when this will happen, I won't be there with you.
Yeah, go on.
I want to say, because I didn't see the reason. I didn't see the reason that you will look your wife, your daughters, your boy, your first son, and so on. You not give them that word, "go and defend yourself." Why you are the head of the family? There must be a preparation on ground before you will tell them that word. That is one. So I see the president of another people that he carefully selects the word so that it will be in a safer side. It's just as simple as that. And comes to the professor that displayed in an account on internet, I'll just say one thing. He's a professor by name, not a professor by thinking. If a professor by thinking, I don't know how you can live. You're supposed to think. I said, think on what you are about to do before you do it. You can't just wake up and decide to do anything you want to do. Valentine mentioned something. Okay, after in the
Yeah, we have lost him again. Service is
we then
available.
import whatever I import the money, evidently the goods from free sport. You know, that's you just do that, or I put it this way. You just displaying that
Yeah, but it appears service is very, very poor at your end. That is exactly what we are saying. That is why we must leave Nigeria to have our own Biafra. When we have our own Biafra, there will be nothing like poor service or network services. No. Our Biafran engineers will give us the best. So, but I'm sorry, I cannot continue to take it because service is excellently poor at your own end. I'm only calling now any other member of the crew to say your views because we are drawing close to the end of this particular broadcast. And those of you on the screen watching or listening through our radio, write your opinion I will be here to read it out. Kiki in Atchison is saying he was writing on our radio line, no going back in Jesus' name. That is true. And he's also saying Biafra will come to stay. Of course, he's still praying for Biafras, and this is what we want. And Eberechukwu Okoro is saying a lot of people have donated the defense fund. How many people, if I may ask? The word Eberechukwu Okoro, we are not here to discuss this issue. It's not the business of the day, and we don't intend to look into it at all because it does not concern us. We are rather asking people that made their contribution to ask questions and not disagree on our radio. So that's what you are saying. So, gentlemen, of course, the floor is still open. Say your mind, give us your views on what is happening, and we shall be with you. Ugochukwu Amechi, of course, we welcome Jude Coach and Ekene Waribe. You are welcome, all of you. So, gentlemen, let us hear your voice. Otherwise, we play a little bit of the music. Never forget, we are broadcasting to you live now, being the 11th of July 2019, from the studios of the Voice of Biafra International and the Biafra Broadcasting Authority, coming to you from Germany. Obibi Egon is my name. We are here, of course, we are broadcasting under the auspices of the bim-massob family, led by His Excellency, the Biafra leader, Chief Dr. Afro Watrike. So, he made it possible for us to be on air just like he has always done. So we are so much thankful, grateful to him and the entire bim-massob family. So, gentlemen, we keep on giving you facts, figures. That is why we are here. We don't broadcast every day, otherwise it's going to be a talking show. No. But we come on air on board whenever we know something is important, which we must communicate to you. As it stands now, everybody should be on the alert. Just like Valentine said a few minutes ago, or rather Bright. Ohaneze ndị Igbo asking Igbo to defend themselves. When they call Igbo people, a lot of Igbo people are still resident in the far north. If such a statement will now go, we are not condemning him entirely anyway. We are rather saying there should have been preparations before that statement, and he wouldn't have been the person to respond. He would have sent somebody from Ohaneze Youth Week to respond to that particular flag out. This is the blame. But then our people are still there. We must first of all make an arrangement on how to ferry them back home. Remember, the first time our people in the north were ferried back home was done some years back. I can't remember precisely, by Chief Dr. Afro Watrike, when there was a suspicion that the country would be thrown into a conflagration. He rented hundreds of luxurious buses and paid them hundreds of millions to go and bring our people in the far north back to Biafra land. That is a mark of a leader. That is what a leader can always do. Just now at Ohaneze Ed, he came out to correct them, to tell them how things are done. It's not enough to say, I'm a leader of Igbo cultural, social cultural organization, but you don't know how to handle issues. If you are an expert in social cultural matters, when it comes to martial times, you do not know. Ask people who are involved, who know better. That is how it is done. If you don't know what to do, ask our people in diaspora if they know of any particular country that can sponsor Biafra. You hand over, and when they finish, they take their money back. These are the things we keep on telling our people. It's not good to be in a hurry, otherwise, we reveal ourselves to the enemy. Let me inform that we have less than 10 minutes to end the program for the day. We've been only 2 hours. We have 10 minutes left. So, gentlemen, if you have anything to say, you are free to air your views. And those online, those writing, I read what you write, and I'm going to inform. Chibiaka Chukuma, Ifan James, Ifan Chimesi, Stephen, we welcome all of you, and we know what you are writing. Thank you. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for listening. We have passed the message across. It's not by our many words that we shall be heard. A word they say is enough to the wise, and you are the wise people. That is why we don't have to spend eternity talking to you over this particular issue. The message has been passed. Ohanese chairman made a grave mistake by responding personally. Should have sent somebody of equal, status to that particular man. And number two, he shouldn't have called us openly to defend ourselves without first of all summoning a meeting of stakeholders to discuss on what it will take to prosecute it or defend ourselves. And then on the other side of the divide, the president of the World Igbo Congress, WIC, coming now to ask for contribution is to say that over the years of existence of this particular WIC, nothing has been achieved at all. In other words, these are just clubs where they gather every time, eat and drink and dance and go home. If not so, we are surprised that up till now they are calling for donation. Donation from who? And when you know somebody, when you see the Biafra leader, anybody who has the necessary wherewithal to sponsor anything, instead of humbly accept to meet him and discuss issues with him, all of you are there talking. Everybody wants to be a leader. That is a problem. And control the Biafra finances. This is the exact problem we are having in this Biafra struggle. But to God be the glory that the true leadership of the Biafran agitation is highly organized. Thank you very much. So thank you so much for being part of this particular program. It was very, very entertaining. We like what you have said, what you have suggested. Tomorrow we are going to put everything in print and communicate to the appropriate quarters on everything you have said. We thank you 1,000 times for being part of the program. We really appreciate your sacrifice, burning your data, listening to us, writing to us, and we keep on welcoming you. We thank you 1,000 times that you so much love Biafra passionately and are prepared to make any sacrifice, no matter the time, no matter the place. We thank you once again. I am Ikenna Bibiagono. We're thanking Juchijoke in Lagos, Uchenokeke Matudi, Sunday Oti in Lagos, Valentine Ogoji, Port Harcourt, Bright in Owerri, Imo State. Of course, Sadi Emmanuel Wabis is there. And other members of the crew who could not attend this particular discussion this evening, we say to all of you 1,000 times Thank you. And for the rest of the day, let us play the Biafra music, Oliver the Cook.